There are no more buys in this NFL season, so that makes a lot of fantasy football managers very happy. We're entering into week 15.
Yep.
What is your number one storyline for this week?
The Dallas Cowboys got to prove it. And you're like, what? Prove what? They won they won 5 in a row. They're blowing everybody away. Again, we're very critical of the Cowboys because they get so much attention.
Yeah.
So this is the good and the bad. They've blown out inferior teams at home over and over and over, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Eagles aren't inferior, but they've done that. We know they're a really fast, high-scoring team.
They average more than 30 points per game at home.
And they remind me of, if you remember, the 1999 St. Louis Rams back then with Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk. They were the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
This is the highest-scoring home team since then.
Right.
But can the Cowboys do it on the road?
Yep.
They play the Bills this week in Buffalo. Now, weather's not supposed to be that big of a factor, but
40, 50 degrees, right?
40 degrees with some wind.
Which is about what it is here in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there will be Bills Mafia. That is a quality opponent.
Yep.
Which, if you look at the Cowboys season, you're like, they're 10-3. What's their best road win? The Giants.
Right. They lost to Arizona on the road.
That was
lost
San
to
Francisco.
on the
Their
road.
best wins are 5-8 Giants and 5-8 Chargers, which, those are not really good on the resume. Beat the Bills on the road in December to go 11-3, and all of a sudden, even Stephen A. Smith will shut up for a while.
I just left Cowboys practice and watched tight end Jake Ferguson. He had the ice bucket, and he was dipping his hands in the ice bucket, holding it in there for like a minute. I heard him go, I'm numb. And then he grabbed the ball and went and ran with it.
I don't know if he needs the ice bucket for 40 degrees.
But he's going to be prepared, that's for sure.
Talk about a surprise beast of the year, Jake Ferguson.
Oh, for sure.
Who was their tight end last year? I
Dalton
can't remember his
Schultz.
name. Jake Ferguson goes, forget about him.
Funny. The Houston Texans, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Buffalo Bills have some of the hardest remaining schedules left. What are your expectations for these teams?
They've all got trouble for different reasons. The Bills look like they have found it. They fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey, and it looks like Josh Allen's found that comfort zone between I'm going to hit a grand slam on every at bat and maybe a bunt every now and then. He's found that comfort zone.
Yeah.
But they lost so many defensive Milano early in the year.
Right.
Their defense is not the same, so they have to score a lot of points. They're not the same Bills team as a year ago. The Texans, C.J. Stroud's been in concussion protocol.
Yeah.
Their problem is going on the road. They don't really have a running game. He's been amazing. He's probably rookie of the year quarterback, but they don't really have the running game where they can do the 4-minute drive to salt a game away. That's trouble. And the Seahawks, of course, with such high expectations with Geno Smith, and he's just been all over the map this year. He's been inconsistent.
Not always on the field.
Not always on the field.
Yeah.
And then you've got DK Metcalf, who's,
unbelievable.
One of the most talented players in the NFL on any side of the ball.
Totally agree.
But he's also, he's got some loose wires these days. He goes off with the Niners last week, he's trying to go up full Draymond Green on the guy. Pete Carroll just that's a talented team, but they went to the playoffs last year. We thought, okay, playoffs, next step. They've taken a step back.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes for those three. Now that we are in week 15, is there a wide receiver that has surprised you?
It's the same guy who surprised me in week 1, week 2, week 3. I thought, he'll fade. It's Puka Nacua, which we still like saying his name here. We get close to Christmas.
Yeah, that's true.
He's the Christmas gift of receivers this year.
Greatest name ever.
Drafted in the last pick of the 5th round from BYU. You're like, BYU, okay. On a team that has Cooper Kupp, and you thought he didn't have a chance to make the team.
Yeah.
You look at the NFL leading receivers, like the usual suspects. There's Tyreek Hill, there's Jamar Chase, there's Keenan Allen, there's Puka. There's who? There's Puka. He's top 5 in receiving yards and catches. He's got 4 touchdowns, and every time you turn on a Rams game, you're like, there's an amazing catch by Cooper. That's Puka Nacua. By this time, we're week 15. It's not a fluke anymore. He's a legit surprise this year, and the Rams, they found something at the end of that draft.
He has been very fun to watch. We're entering week 15. Is there an NFL defense that has surprised you?
My answer is going to surprise you, because how could I be surprised by the great play of a unit on a team that's 3-10?
Tell me.
The Patriots.
Oh.
Hear me out.
We have not talked about their defense.
This is going to take a minute, because people are going, get out of here. This guy's crazy. The Patriots lost their best pass rusher in Matthew Judon. and their best cornerback, rookie of the month in September, Christian Gonzalez, in the same game.
Yeah.
A 38-3 loss to the Cowboys where people just wrote off the Patriots.
Yeah.
But Bill Belichick, for all his faults, and he's got a lot, we could do a whole video on Bill Belichick, but he still is a defensive guru. He's a mastermind, and it's the Patriots 3-10 is a direct relation to their historically horrible offense. They can't score. It's Mac Jones, it's Bailey Zappi, it's no weapons, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But the defense, without their two best players, has not allowed 20 points in 5 games, and they've lost games. Imagine if you're the defensive coordinator. They've lost games allowing 10, 10, and 6 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that
what
is
more
not.
can you do?
And I just think they deserve. Belichick deserves a shout out for what he's done defensively, because it'll totally get lost in the season that you just like, this is the worst Patriots season in 30 years. It's one of Belichick's best defensive coaching jobs.
That's a good point, and I'm sure a point that Bill Belichick is making.
I bet he'll
as they
smile
are
and reach out to
looking-
me and be so happy.
No, I think he's probably making that point as he looks forward into his coaching job there in New England.
As though he needs another bullet point in his resume. I was a good defensive coordinator when we were 3-13.
Yep, it is one though.
Yeah.
We are entering Week 15 in NFL action. Richie, is there an officiating problem in the league?
Depends on which team you are, which fan you're a fan of which team on Sunday, right?
If you're a Chiefs fan, there's a big
Oh gosh.
officiating
Okay,
problem.
so overall, my problem with NFL, it's not even the officiating so much, it's the rules. I just think that just pass interference is too penal. The spot foul, you have 46-yard penalties every week, and that's game changing, not just drive changing.
For sure.
I like the college rule of 15 yards. But the way that's also, 1 week it's not a. You can get film of this is not pass interference today. It will be next week.
Right. It
But
depends on the day. And
But it's
the
such a
official.
hard rule to officiate, and it happens so fast.
Yeah.
And the ball's coming, and it's pat, and what's contact, and what's hand fighting.
Right.
That's really difficult. What they don't have a problem is what happened in Kansas City last week. I mean, I don't understand what Pat Mahomes
Was mad at.
and Andy Reid were going crazy about,
Yeah.
because when a guy is that far offside, not even that far, if a guy's offsides, he's offsides.
Right.
There's not a lot of discussion. That's the rule. The rule is enforced. I don't like this, like the NBA. Well, a foul in the first 5 minutes is not a foul in the last 5 minutes. Why?
Yeah.
Why make your nebulous rules? It opens
makes
you
it
up.
easier to watch if it's always the same. It makes it easier to call. if it's
Officiate,
always
of
the
course.
same.
Yeah, so I don't understand what the Chiefs are arguing about. I don't think they have an officiating problem from it's a rule, let's call it. I don't understand why a receiver gets to go, hey, am I offsides? That's not the referee's job. Referees are like, you're offsides. Oh, you're not. I'm not there to help another team.
Right.
So, I mean, the Chiefs are having a rough year. That's totally out of character for Patrick Mahomes to just go to lose his mind
Right,
like that.
and he has apologized since.
He has,
Yeah,
and it
said
was
he regretted it.
it was a bad look. And you know what the worst part of that was? Several layers to bad, but
Yeah.
going up to Josh Allen.
Oh, I know. That's
After
embarrassing.
a huge win, he's not happy the Bills won. But
They're buddies off
there's a
the field,
quarterback
too.
fraternity,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And he knows what Josh Allen's gone through this year with a lot of criticism. They
Yeah.
fired the offensive coordinator. And for him to be a huge win to save their season on the road and to come up and go, that was a bleepity bleep bleep, and then walk away, just like, that was classless.
Right.
Totally classless.
I mean, we all make mistakes, so we'll see if the Chiefs can bounce
Probably
back.
Mahomes' first mistake.
Yeah, honestly.